Praise Jesus. I have this word that keeps ringing in my head that you have to start dreaming again. You have to start dreaming better again. You have to start seeing it in the way that God sees it. You have to plant that seed in you that you will see what God had it for you when you started. Looking at the patterns that you have gone through, do you feel that you have the grace to start well, but when you start, you lack the sustaining grace, and when you sustain in the process, you lack the grace to finish well? Am I talking to someone who feels that they live a short-lived blessing? It should not have ended that way. That relationship should not have gone through the way it went on the down low, or that job I could have done better, or that ministry, or anything that God has installed in your life. Do you feel that once you start off well, but when it's time to continue, you lack the grace to sustain in the blessing? Or when you sustain, when you go through the hardships, when you go through, it's a life full of challenges and hardships on and on, and when you go through when you finally attain the sustaining grace, now you have to fight for the finishing grace. How many people am I talking to? Because there's someone in the Bible like that. Samson lived it all. He had the dream. He had the word written before he was born. His parents were given the prophecy before he was born that he was going to be great. And then when he came, he had to fight for the sustaining grace. He had to fight for the finishing grace. So how many people am I talking to right here that needs the sustaining grace, starting grace? I understand there are people who are fought by foundations. Where you come from, it is very difficult. You see, like Jesus, it is very difficult for you to live a life that you're dreaming. A good example is with Jesus. Before he was even born, a king somewhere ordered his death. So am I speaking to someone here who wants to understand the will of God? Because I believe it is time to dream again. I believe that God is instructing us. It is time to go back and see how you were ordained before you were born. See how you were chosen. See how the word of God is written, is a proof that you can dream and that you can bear the gift. It is time to have the sustaining grace to continue. It is time to finish well whatever you started. If it's a business, you start and then there's no grace to continue, or there's no grace to juggle to another level. You are stagnant in one level. There's no progress. Or when it's an end of a season, you lack the capacity to hold on until it's over. So I want you to know that God has a purpose. God has ordained you before you were born. God has a good plan for you, and he has ordained you. It is time to dream again. It is time to dream again, Samson, that you don't have to die with the Philistines. You don't have to end it that way. It doesn't have to end that way. It doesn't have to wear you off like that. It doesn't have to train you. Take a break and dream again. Take a break and look back once again. Take a break. The moment you start to feel like giving up, look back of what God has done for you. It is time to dream again. It is time to dream again. It is time to dream again. I will keep on repeating that because it is time to dream again over your business. It is time to dream again over your studies. It is time to dream again. Whatever you left off, go and pick it. Tell that mountain, it is time to dream again. Tell that blessing, it is time to dream again. Tell that sickness, it is time for me to dream again. This is not what God had instructed over my life. When that marriage is not going on the way you had anticipated, tell God it is time to dream again. It is time for me to dream again. It is time for you to dream again. Look at what God is doing. Look at what God said. As much as it's discouraging right now, there is what God said upon your life. So it is time. It is time to dream again. In the book of Judges chapter 16 verse 28 to 30. But I'm going to read verse 30. You see how a blessing or a life can be short-lived. And I don't want that to happen to you. This is an encouraging word that you need to dream again. You don't have to end with the Philistine. You don't have to end it the way it is ending. Dust off your feet. It is time to dust off your feet and dream again and live again. It might not have worked. It might be over, but it is time to dream again. Then Samson said, "Let me die with the Philistines." And he pushed with all his might, and the temple fell to the lords and all the people who were in it. So the dead that he killed of his death were more than he had killed in his life. It is time to dream again, child of God. God bless you. Have a fruitful day. Shalom.